think Munster has never wanted for anything, whether we had it or we didn't. We've always got on with it, and sometimes we use it as probably a tool to be a bit bitter when others had it and we didn't. But we certainly can't be using that excuse anymore, or giving out that we don't have this or that. We've got everything on site now to provide us with the tools we need to perform on the pitch. Now that we're staying up together, heading over to a few lads' houses that you wouldn't have been in before. You would have been out the gap back home to Cork, or the lads vice versa back home to Limerick. Now you're going over for a barbecue during pre-season with guys who you wouldn't have spent that much time with. You would have known them, but not as well as we do now, and the amount of time we spend together. But I think we're utilising the time that we spend in the gym and on the pitch a lot better than what we were, and we're getting 5 or 10 or 15% more out of it, and when we're working at a game, you're working off percentages here and there. It's a big help.
When you come into the system and you were so used to being that way, you think that's the way it always happens, and you don't realise you're not seeing 50% of the squad for most of the week. You're only seeing them for a couple of hours on a Wednesday or a Thursday. So no, it's great so far, and we're fitting in well, and like that, being able to roll everyone to the gym at the one time is a massive bonus.
So comparison to what it would have been in previous season for every Munster player would have been with a travelling day. We might be travelling to Cork. We wouldn't have been able to start before 10 in the morning because of the implications of guys having breakfast, having enough time to drive, missing traffic and everything. So it has made us a lot more time efficient to come into the one centre. We had to plan our programmes to an extent for the facility that we were in. We were limited in a certain way, but now those limitations have come away. We can afford to have the backs, the forwards in at the same time if we'd really need to. Injured players can actually work at the same time as well, so it's not the way constrained by space or facility or by equipment. What we have, I think, as opposed to the other places that I've worked at and some of the others, is a facility that is way in advance of what I've experienced before anyway. So yes, we've come on a par now with other clubs who operate in one training venue, but I think the quality of the facility way exceeds a lot of our competition.
I suppose that's the handiest thing. It's been able to have gear in here the whole time, and being able to, something as simple as leaving your boots in here and not forgetting them in the morning, or having to run back to the house just in case because you're transferring the whole time. We're not constrained to time and schedules, that the young guys can be in there and training, and they can hang around after training and be able to see what those top players and those senior players, likes of Peter Mahoney and Conor Murray, and see what they're doing and how they became professional rugby players, and what they need to do to get to the next level. It'll just become a much more immersive environment.
I think a facility like this can do nothing but good, as I said, not just for the current crop of players. It's the young fellows now that are coming through school, primary school, secondary school, schools rugby, that'll have the privilege of being based in this facility and using it and hopefully winning medals and trophies here.
Everything's kind of pointing positively towards the future, and as long as we can keep the winds going, it'll keep heading that way, and we'll get right back on the right track and be up to the top of Europe again.
The fact that we're all under one roof now, our philosophies are completely aligned. I think there's only one direction we're going to go in, and we have to make the best use of the facility that we have now. I've no doubt that the move to the High Performance Centre will benefit Munster Rugby for years to come, and a massive investment has been made for the future, and I'm pretty certain that this facility will have a massive role in ensuring that Munster Rugby does become the best club in Europe again in the future.